Hello everyone, Tammy here. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing something completely different. So I understand if you're not interested and you want to move on. I get it. This is not a video about journaling or paper crafts at all. It's another form of art that I do called mandala making. So this, I make these on records. I also make them on paper and other things. These ones are small 45s. Some of them are on sale in my Etsy shop. Some are not. Yeah, it's more of a relaxing creative outlet for me, but I do sell them. And I do them on full-size records. This year I have a commission request to make one in a design that has already sold on my Etsy shop, but she wanted something that looked like it, and it kind of looks like this. It's just a completely haphazard doodling type design. So I thought I would take you through all the steps that I do to make one of these. So the first thing I'm going to do is cover my workspace because I don't want to get gesso on my mat. So I'm doing it for her on a Beatles record. Now these are old records from my mom's collection, possibly some of mine from when I was a kid. So this one's pretty clean. It does have a few pretty major scratches that you might not be able to see. So I'm going to cover it I don't always cover them in gesso, but this time I am because of the look that she wants. So yeah, I'm just gonna take you through it. I'm gonna move the camera up, can I? Hang on, let's see. There we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this. And this is white gesso. You can also use clear gesso, which I have before, but for this one I want a clean. Oh great, things are falling off my paintbrush. Okay. So yeah, so I just paint this on and let it dry. And you won't see any of this through the design, so it doesn't matter if it has brush strokes. Although if I was going for something really smooth and sleek, the brush strokes would matter. But for this particular design, it doesn't matter. So, but I do try to smooth it out as much as possible. Oops, gosh darn it, making a mess. What I'm mostly trying to do is cover up the black. So when I paint, I usually use paint pens. Posco is my favorite. You'll see that though as we go on. Okay, so here's the first coat. I don't know if I'll need a second coat, but we'll see. Wow, the more I go over it, the messier I'm making it. Whoops, hit the camera, sorry. So I have this little piece in here I want to get out. So if you guys do any art on, I know we all, on our junk journals, we use all kinds of unique items, but like any other type of art that you all do, I'd love to hear about it. Okay, so I'm going to let this dry, and then when we come back, I'll just haphazardly draw a design on it and see where it goes. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Okay, so I'm back to put the outline on this abstract mandala is kind of what I call it. I want to show you the different kinds of paint pens first. So I feel like I've used just about every brand that there is out there. So I've tried all of these. They're okay. They're not like the greatest or anything. They run out quickly or they dry up, and then when you pump them, then a big glob of paint goes all over. So the Sharpies are probably okay. I think this one's a really fine point. You know, they're okay. This is nice. It has sparkles. But I use a lot of paint pens and I go through a lot of them. So these are just okay. These are good. So the Molotow, however you say it. These are good. These, I don't have any complaints about them. They're perfectly fine. If you use these and you love them, then you know, keep using them. My favorite are the Posca pens. So this is what I call the large tip. This is a medium tip with it, which is squashed down from me using it, but still has a lot of paint on it. And then the finer type right here. So these are the ones I used. For this one, I'm going all out, and I'm gonna use the big broad tipped, just to kind of show you what I do. When I make my mandalas, I never use a pencil ever. I don't believe that there's mistakes. Well, I don't believe there's mistakes in art, period. But in mandala making, I feel like the errors and the imperfections that you see just add to the uniqueness of the piece. So, and that's just me. I know a lot of people use pencil and erase and all of that. If I think I've made a mistake, which is something that I didn't want to happen, I paint over it. I don't even worry about it. Like this whole outline that I'm gonna do, I might not use all of the sections. I might really go into one section and add some things, or I might decide to paint over it completely. So yeah, so no right and wrong way. And I'm just going to start, I guess what you could just call random mark making. And I have no agenda at all here. It's just having fun, moving the paint around. Yeah. So we're just going to call that good. And some of these that have a lot of cross lines, I might completely paint over those. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. And you're going to just kind of watch right along with me. I'm going to just add a few okay, that's kind of fun. Okay. So I'll do a lot more doodling as I get into what I call the smaller work. But yeah, for now, I think okay, so let's, this always happens to me. I do all these little you know, fine touches here and there. And I actually prefer not to do that until the end. So this is the outline that I'm going to follow. So now I will grab some different color markers, and I'll be back in just a sec. Okay, so I just brought in I think it's every color I have in the big thick point. Yeah, I'm just gonna start. So, I will not be like recording this whole process because this, it actually takes quite a while to paint, and then I do a design on top of the paint. I call it little work. Like all of this is all little work on top of the paint. But you know, I'll do a little bit here so you can get an idea. And I do pay attention to the colors I'm using. Not necessarily the colors I'm using, but where I'm deciding to use them. That kind of makes a difference to me. Where did I put? Here it is. I see this little spot right here. I want this to be kind of its own space right there. And I will do this as I go along. Also, just, you know, finding things that I want to fill in. Yeah, and just really know where I'm. And I want to tell you, these pens have been sitting, so I store them laying down flat like this. I have not used these. I'm embarrassed to say how long it's been since I've used my paint pens. Well over a year. And they're just beautiful. So if I push to, I do have a very heavy hand, and that's why the finer pen nibs wear out pretty badly. So I'm trying to have a very soft hand here, because if I do push too hard, I might push some of the gesso out, and yeah, I don't really want to do that. So yeah. So here's an example of, I'm just thinking out loud here. Yeah, I think I'm going to come through and completely cover over that line. And it's just for no other reason, because I'm feeling like that's what I want to do in this spot. It's no, I don't know how to explain it. It's creating intuitively, which I think has really helped me in my junk journaling, because well, I shouldn't say that, because I do overthink much of the time. But I find that I definitely get, you know, some of my best work done when I just really don't overthink it, and I just grab whatever marker wants to come next, color whichever area wants to be colored next, And I don't really worry too much about getting black on the lines either, because I actually go through at the end, and I know it sounds tedious, but it's just all part of my process. I come in and go over the black lines again. Okay, so there's an example of, just a little something that happened that what's happening is this is getting low on ink, and so that's how you know when they're getting low on ink, is when they leak really bad. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish this out, and then this can be fixed in the next when I color the next side or paint it. That's what acrylic paint is, really forgiving in that sense, in that you can can make a little happy mess and fix it. When I first started drawing mandalas, you know, I thought they all had to be perfect and super symmetrical and no mistakes. And as I kept practicing, I kept thinking, oh, the ones with the mistakes are, they're just, they just look better. So I can't explain it. It's just kind of one of those things. So yeah, I'm just gonna finish up this section, I think, and then turn the camera off, and then be back to do, I might do some off camera. Okay, so I have done a little bit on this since I turned the recorder on last. It's, you know, some of this work I like to do not sitting at my table. My table does get, my chair gets uncomfortable. I just get a little stiff sitting here. So I do take it and work on it in other places. But I got all the paint on, and I have started doing some doodles. Like, most of this area it's done for now. I never know if I'm going to go back. So I don't know if you can see it, but I use these Glaze pens. They're the Jelly Rolls, Sakura Jelly Roll Glaze pen, and I love them. They're a little bit shiny when they're dry, and they're a little bit raised, so they give some dimension to the piece. So from when I originally colored everything in, or started to, I decided to change the design up quite a bit. And I don't know if you can really even see it, because I painted over most of the black lines. Like, maybe right here you can see a black line, and maybe a couple other places that I'm just not oh yeah, down here you can see these dark lines down here. But when you doodle on it and kind of get it all cleaned up, you can't even notice that. Like, as a matter of fact, just here while I'm talking to you, I'm just going to add more paint right here. So this has been fun. I haven't done work like this in a long time, and I was talking to my daughter about it the other day, and it's really weird because this is a request. It's like a commission. So someone had seen one that I had a similar design to this, and they wanted one like it, because the other one sold, and so someone had purchased it, and so I'm like, yeah, I think I can do that. But it took me a while to get into the groove, to be honest. I'm not the same artist I was 3 years ago when I made the other one. I think it's been over 3 years now, and so I really had to. I wouldn't say it was difficult to get started, for sure, but I think once I've gotten started, I'm a little bit more in the groove, and so I hope she likes it. This will be done, if not tonight, definitely tomorrow. So yeah, I hope that she likes it. I just don't think that I can get back to the place I was, you know, when I made the original one. And just the way my art is, it's so abstract and intuitive that there's just no way I could repeat the same piece, like exact. I'm using some of the same, like this is the same, this design here, this is the same. A few of these are the same. They're different colors, although similar color palette, but just how I'm, you know, putting the colors down is just way different than it was 3 years ago. But it's fun. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. Super relaxing, for sure. I notice that on the days that I work on it, I actually sleep better. And I just think that definitely tells me that I need to do more. You know, I call this meditative work too. And I used to have a very good practice, and I don't anymore. For what I just started doing other things, and you know, work. I'm still working full time, so yeah, things just get in the way, and it is what it is. Okay, so I wanted to kind of show you an example. So these I have painted white. Even though the gesso was there, you could still see the records underneath. So I'm just going to show you how I make a little, it's kind of like a, I don't even know what you call it, like a cluster, like this one. And then this, I put a little like starfish type star in there. The original one that I did, when I was done with it, it just reminded me of under the sea, sea anemones and starfish and sea cucumbers and kind of all that. And so that's what I'm trying to do, some of that on this piece also. So yeah, so I just thought I'd take you along on the ride so you can see what I'm doing. So I just kind of come through, make sure my pen's working. So my husband and I just finished watching Get Back, the Beatles. It's like a 3-part miniseries done by Peter Jackson, who did Lord of the Rings. A lot of unseen footage and things of the Beatles' last performance. Well, the making of their last album. And oh, it was so good. We've been watching it over a while. You can't, it's, each episode's at least 2+ hours. So yeah, so okay, I'm gonna let this dry, and that takes a little bit to dry, and then I'm going to do one of these. I'm gonna start from here. This one's doing something weird, crackling. I'll just have to draw over it. So all of these I still have to draw over. I just thought I'd pop on to just kind of show you what I'm doing. There's just no way I could do it all on video recording. There's just a lot to it. It'd be a whole lot of me going through and fast forwarding and not talking much. but I did just want to show you this and this process. I don't know if many of you are interested, and and that's fine. I get that. But I know my friend Carol at Free Spirit Arts. I know she's very interested, and I just thought it'd be fun. This is not a traditional mandala, but it is to me. If you're working in a circular pattern, and your container is a circle, to me that's a mandala. And I just call these, like I said, abstract intuitive mandalas. And as you can see, I like color. I use a lot of color in almost all of my work, and I do like the contrast of the black and white popped into the color. I just find that really interesting, and I don't know, to me it's really appealing to my eye, so that's why I do it that way. So I will be back when I've finished this, so you can see what it looks like. And okay, here I am with the finished project. I sent a picture to the recipient. She loved it. I'm super happy with it. So what I normally do now is I seal it with I have a couple different sprays that I use. So this one I've almost used up. I love the Krylon matte finish. It just seals everything in. If this gets wet or too much light gets on it, it could fade. So this is, I saved this because there's probably one more spray in it. But on a couple pieces of my paper artwork that I have in my shop, I've used this, and I think I liked this. It's more of a varnish, so I think it's more of a harder finish. So I'm probably going to use this, and this is a satin, where this is a matte, and I like the satin because there is shiny bits on here, and I do want to keep the integrity of those. I also bought this. It's still in the package. I haven't used it yet. I basically got it to replace the Krylon. It's Aleene's. I'm not sure. I just bought it because I don't think this was available when I was shopping for it. So yeah, so I'm gonna go spray it, let it dry. Hopefully it'll be dry enough to put out in the mail tomorrow. This is a Christmas gift for someone. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed just this little quick peek into some other art that I do. I'm kind of hoping to do something like this. Maybe, I don't know how often. Once a month for sure, maybe twice a month. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling and what journaling projects I'm working on. With the holidays coming, to an end soon, and then retiring in the spring, I will definitely have a lot more time to play around in my studio. So that could change in the future, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. And again, if it's not your cup of tea, I totally get it. And but I don't think if I post something different art-wise that I'm working on once or twice a month, I don't think it'll be a huge deal. So yeah, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.